Yo, we talk a lot. No other species on the planet has the obsession with language that we do, as we rely on verbal communication much more heavily than any other animal. Indeed, one of the main drivers of the evolution of our big, beautiful brains, the brains that have allowed us to take over the entire world, is language and social communication. And while the list of things that we talk about is literally endless, there are two things that we seem to love talking about more than anything else: other people and other people's business. In other words, we love to gossip. Anthropologists studying everything from small bands of hunter-gatherers to large urban societies have found that people in almost every kind of society spend almost 2/3 of their everyday conversation gossiping, with the majority of that gossip being negative. So gossip, defined as sharing information about an absent party's public or private life, isn't just the business of the shade room or middle school girls. It's a staple in human life. Even the most productive people, the ones that swear they're always busy, if you look closely, you'll find that most people spend most of their time talking about other people. Why is that? In this brain snack, we'll see how we're neurologically wired to gossip and why we love minding other people's business so much. Socially and neurologically, gossip hurts. But that's only if the gossip is about you. When we exchange a juicy piece of gossip about somebody, our brain's reward system is activated, which motivates us to keep doing it. And the chemical called oxytocin, amongst others, is released. You can watch my brain snack on oxytocin here. But as a quick refresher, oxytocin is a two-faced chemical that helps bring people closer together by promoting bonding and trust and generosity between them, but it also makes us meaner and nastier to people that we don't know or don't like. Well, these both characterize our experience with gossip. You feel closer to the person that you're gossiping with and likely more detached from the person that you're gossiping about. When you hear negative gossip of any kind, but especially if the gossip is about you, your superior medial prefrontal cortex lights up. When you hear positive gossip about yourself, your orbital prefrontal cortex becomes highly active. But this region is virtually silent when you hear positive things about other people. This shows us that our egos make us much more sensitive and attentive to any information that's passed around about us. But when it comes to information about other people, we're cognitively biased to notice the negative information preferentially. This fact can be proven with a quick spin around your office, a quick stroll around your timeline, or in experimental settings. When researchers showed participants people's pictures, accompanied by either positive news or negative news, people simply paid more attention and used more cognitive resources to register that negative gossip and the faces that accompanied it. Essentially, our brains don't got nothing to say when positive things are said and spread, but it responds quite dutifully to the bad stuff. Why are we like this? Why do we gossip so much? And why don't the positive things excite us just as much as the prude? Now, I say this a lot, but for answers to these questions, we have to look to our ancestors and the lives that they lived. For the brains that we use to talk and tweet and text the latest tea were forged in their environment. There we find that humans love talking about other people for two main reasons. For one, gossip is like social glue. Like I mentioned, it promotes bonding between gossipers, and bonding leads to trust, and trust leads to cooperation. Now, cooperation has been key to our survival as a species, but we're not the only one. It's widespread in nature, observed everywhere from bacteria to birds, bees, and biologists. Natural selection seems to favor the organisms that figure out that scratching each other's backs is how you survive. But what distinguishes humans from other animals is our unique capacity for language. Whereas most other social animals bond with just touch, we have the unique added ability to bond with words. We can give compliments and praise, we can offer assistance or an apology, we can tell a good joke or a good story. And there are few things our brains love more than a good old story. The point is, words have brought us closer together. Gossip gives humans the opportunity to couple our built-in drive to run our mouths with our hardwired need to socialize and cooperate. The result is a social cohesion that has strengthened our tribes, our communities, and large societies. The social cohesion that has driven our success on this planet. But why gossip? Couldn't we all just get along talking about the weather or economic tariffs? Well, no, not exactly. Talking about other people regularly also establishes the set of social norms necessary for the successful operation of a complex society. Okay, let me break that down. The larger a social group becomes, the more difficult it is to control and to keep everybody in check. The main way that animals do this is through bonding activities. Our close cousins, the great apes, they bond and keep everybody in check by grooming each other. Primatologists have long documented the relationship between the size of their groups and the amount of time that they spend doing just that. The more they grow, the more they groom. For a number of reasons, human societies have also grown and become more complex. Now, when your band got 8 forages in it and some bad kids, quick combos about the weather might cut it. But when there's over 100 people in your tribe, grooming everybody and talking to everybody just ain't an option. But talking about everybody is. Sharing social information became vital to the survival of our growing and increasingly complex social networks. Because gossip not only gave us the power to bond, it gave us the power to scorn, to reject individuals and their behavior, and therefore keep everybody in check. Think about it. You're much less less likely to steal the tribe's catch for the day if you know everybody's going to be talking about it tomorrow. You're much more likely to cooperate and adhere to social norms if your tribe regularly made a point to let everybody know when you didn't. And simply not caring wasn't really an option back then, since social rejection was literally a matter of life and death. Abandoned, which would leave your chances of survival pretty much slim to none. In this way, gossip strengthened our primitive communities over time by reducing conflict and antisocial behavior. And because our communities continue to grow and grow, so did the amount of time that we spent talking about other people. So for human beings, the more we grew, the more we gossip. Evidence for this can be found right inside your skull. That part of your brain that I mentioned that gets activated whenever you hear gossip is actually actively involved in social learning, or the kind of learning that you do to know how to act right in public. In other words, gossip is a form of learning, as our brains soak in information about which behaviors, thoughts, and ideas lead to social approval, and which ones lead to social rejection, which then influence and shape our future decisions and actions. This is why this region is more active in response to gossip about you than it is to gossip about other people. So gossip is much more about you, your actions, and your personal assessment of your actions in accordance with the social norms of the time. Fundamentally, gossip is about survival and keeping ourselves and others in check. And the massive societies that we've built as human beings require us to do it constantly. Funny story. So I somehow deleted the last part of this video. Either my camera did it or I did it on my computer. I don't know. So I had to re-record the last part of this video. Different day, different hairstyle.
I had to switch it up on y'all.
But same information, same brain snack. If you found anything interesting or useful in this video, if you learned something, please like and comment and let me know what it is. If you think someone else will find it useful, share your snacks with them. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at snack time.